Green Bay Packers. Spent the first 3 years on the bench behind Brett Favre before starting in '08, winning the Super Bowl for them in 2010, ironically against the team he signed for last year, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Has been multiple time league MVP, has gone to numerous playoff games. For this to be his final season is very telling. It took a long, strenuous offseason. Even after the draft, he didn't know if he was going to sign back and whatnot, but he ends up signing back because all eyes were on Will Howard to be number one, QB number one. With Aaron Rodgers coming back, it appears that he's going to be QB number one. But you never know how that turns out. Uh, I think Will Howard has a chance to be QB number one, but we'll see. For Aaron Rodgers, this it will definitely be it for him, as I believe he has a Hall of Fame legacy going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame after he retires, waiting 5 years, of course, for his last year to be there. And want everybody to know out there, no, it is hard to go to championships, it's hard to go to Super Bowls in the NFL professional level. A lot of the greats fortunate to go. Like Joe Montana got to go 4 times, Bradshaw got to go 4 times, Elway went 5 times, Brady went 10 times, and so forth. Mahomes went five. It's very telling. Hurts just went twice. It's very telling. A lot of things have to go your way, but don't look to see what Aaron Rodgers is going to do in his final season in the NFL. Spanning 21 years, will be 21 years. '05, he would have played there. So the league has changed a lot dramatically since he first started to now. You see a lot more rule changes, a lot more protection, a lot more emphasis on player safety. It was just tell them enjoy the ride, have fun. At this point, draw the wisdom to the people that need it. Get any information to the young people that you can. Get out there on your team to get them situations, because this is it. You want to leave the game in a better condition than when you left it. As far as the input that you learned from your years being there, okay, what's one thing that can help you out? What's one thing that you noticed that you would tell a younger player to help them further their career? Ultimately, in other news, we have the NBA conference finals in both the Western and Eastern. So far, in the West, we have the Spurs and the defending NBA champion Thunder. The Thunder lead the series 2-1. And in the East, we have the New York Knicks and the Cleveland Cavaliers, where the Knicks hold a 2-0 lead. Now, as far as the West, Victor Wembanyama has arrived with his team with the Spurs from a year ago to now to have been playing at a high level to make it this far. Is telling. They're going against a two-time league MVP now, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, a lot of the things with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been shown from fans' perspective that I've noticed is that he tends to get calls a lot when he bumps into people or gets foul calls a lot. Now, ultimately, the refs have to make the calls the way they see it, but they got to be consistent. I believe there should be some contact in the paint a little bit more so, and because it's to go to the championship, it's going to go to the final. So I was playing to everybody. As far as that series goes, it's the best of seven, as you know. The worst to win four goes to the next round. For the Knicks and the Cavs, it just comes down to the fact that the Knicks came back from being down like 20 points to come back to win game one, and game two just airing out the Cavs. I'll explain to which each series means to each team. Starting with the defending championship team, the Thunder. So the Thunder went back to back. Now we got to start talking about dynasty in a sense, because it's hard to go back to back. And if they go back to back and get there and they win, that amplifies them, because now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be honestly going to start getting looked at a Hall of Fame trajectory, him and help, because that core stayed. Hey, look, we went back to back, we won championships. A few years ago, nobody thought the Thunder would be in this contention. If the Spurs win, it would be like the next great wave of Spurs consistency, because George Gervin started the whole trend, and then David Robinson helped. Then you had Tim Duncan, and then you had Kawhi Leonard, you had Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. You had all these great Spurs where they kept winning, and then you go to a series of doubt. Popovich's health unfortunately went down, and they had to regroup it with structure. This is being the next great player in Spurs history, which he always is. But if he wins a championship, that helps start of his own trajectory and path. Now, the New York Knicks. This will end a very long playoff drought for them. They have went to the playoffs. They have went to the finals twice. Since 1972, they won in 94 and 1999, and they lost and they won was 1972. And this would actually revitalize the city in a lot of ways. Jalen Brunson and Cat, that would get you forever for love because they would actually end up being in a better spot. They would actually be amplified. The city would end up very long playoff championship drought. Honestly. Now, if the Cavaliers were to win, this would put them out the shadows of a player who's currently playing one of the greatest to have ever played the game, in LeBron James. If you look at the way he plays, he attacks the game differently than how Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant did. His killer instinct is not the same as those two. Those two were more so going to attack you and get you physically, but LeBron's was more so I'm going to get everybody involved to get your mind outside. My killer instinct is I'm going to get you psychologically. I'm going to get everybody involved so you can't just target on me. And then when I do my thing, I'm going to hit you with jabs that you don't even know. That's the topic for another day. The Cavaliers wish to win. Day in the worth it. It's worth it. Hey, we stuck with Donovan Mitchell. We now have this ring to solidify as one of the James Harden gets this must-do ring because he went to the finals before. He has led tremendous teams before, on the Rockets teams and stuff like that. But like I said, a lot of things have to go your way in order for you to win a championship. Now, and I'm looking at it as these are professional athletes and they're men. Sometimes you got to win and sometimes you got to lose. And I've always wanted to say that. I'm proud of each and every one of them for getting to this point because it's hard to do, even to make it into the league. That's why on this channel, when we cover the sport, it's always about respecting the players because they're men and the women, and the WNBA and their sports as well, because they're people at the end of the day. And you could praise them without talking down. I admire everybody's out there, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video.